My boyfriend's mother pretended to have dementia to test me, so I played her game and watched her forget which lies she told. Judith asked me what year it was 3 times during dinner, each time with the same confused expression and trembling hands. My boyfriend Ethan squeezed my hand under the table and whispered that his mother had been declining rapidly over the past month, that the doctors were running tests but suspected early onset dementia. She was only 62 and had been sharp as a blade her entire life, so the diagnosis was devastating for the family. Judith looked at me with unfocused eyes and asked who I was, and Ethan gently reminded her that I was Cassidy, his girlfriend of 18 months. Judith nodded vaguely and went back to eating her soup, but I noticed something odd. Her hand was perfectly steady when she lifted the spoon to her mouth, no tremor at all, and her eyes tracked my movements with absolute clarity when she thought I wasn't looking. I filed that observation away and played along, answering her repeated questions with patience and concern. After dinner, Ethan's father Gregory pulled me aside and thanked me for being so understanding about Judith's condition. He looked exhausted and worried, with dark circles under his eyes that suggested he'd been losing sleep over his wife's mysterious illness. Over the next 2 weeks, I visited Ethan's family home 4 more times, and each visit revealed more inconsistencies in Judith's dementia performance. She'd forget my name but remember complex details about my career in architectural design, specifically mentioning a project I'd only discussed with Ethan once in passing. She'd ask what day it was but then reference an appointment she had scheduled for next Thursday without any confusion. She'd claim not to recognize her own kitchen but navigate it perfectly to retrieve items from specific drawers and cabinets without hesitation. The performance was elaborate and mostly convincing, but she'd made the mistake of faking a progressive neurological disease without fully understanding how it actually presented. Real dementia patients showed consistent patterns of deficit. Judith's deficits appeared and disappeared based on who was watching and what would be most dramatically effective in the moment. I started documenting everything in my phone, noting dates, times, and specific contradictions. I wasn't sure yet what her endgame was, but I knew I was being tested somehow. The breakthrough came during my 5th visit when I arrived early and let myself in with the key Ethan had given me. Judith was in the kitchen talking on the phone, her voice clear and sharp. She was discussing investment portfolios with someone, rattling off account numbers and specific financial strategies with perfect recall and sophisticated understanding. The moment she saw me in the doorway, her entire demeanor shifted. Her face went slack, her shoulders slumped, and she looked at the phone in confusion before asking me who I was talking to and how this device worked. The transformation was instant and theatrical, and I knew with absolute certainty that her dementia was completely fabricated. I smiled and gently took the phone from her, telling the person on the other end that Judith would call them back later. After I hung up, Judith asked where she was and whether she'd had lunch yet. It was 10:30 in the morning. I guided her to the living room and told her I'd make her some tea, and she thanked me with a vague, confused expression that was pure performance art. I didn't confront her immediately because I wanted to understand why she was doing this. Ethan was Judith's only child, and she'd been involved in every aspect of his life with an intensity that bordered on